Ande. What's happening?
271. Well done, Brant. You don't suck. Manage your channel directly from your phone. So I'm still signed in under our account. Still at 47 people?
Podcast is doing something.
Yeah, they are doing something.
How often do you see people broadcasting Adventures of Cookie and Cream, Richard?
I can do this right now if you want to.
I'm watching somebody on YouTube doing it right this
I would be okay with this.
You're a minute too slow.
How many people are watching them play the Adventures of Cookie and Cream?
Let me click on here. Hold on.
I need to know. I need to know what this audience looks like.
It's a VTuber audience.
I'm not saying I can't VTube audience.
Oh, they don't start till tomorrow apparently. In 24 hours, but there's 100 people
They've
waiting.
scheduled.
There's 100 people waiting in the waiting room right now.
Doing what?
They've scheduled a cookies and cream.
Just waiting for it to start.
What's going on with this? There we go.
Buish is in.
There's not even pre-chat. Pre-chat's not even in, so I don't know what's happening.
Cesar, please tell me what Pokemon Buish sent you, because I don't send either one of you guys Pokemon, apparently. Pigatrill. I'm going to call that thing Pigatrill. That's what I'm going with.
Oh, what was that? Oink, choink, chonk?
Oink, choink, chonk?
Like that.
Is that the evolutions?
I can't remember what it was. Chunk something. I don't know, man. If you play Pokemon, you would know.
I try Pokemon, and then I fall behind, and I never end up trading with people. And they call me out
Lechonk.
many years later.
Lechonk.
Lechonk.
I believe it's
La-
Lechonk. Yeah, it is
Lechonk.
Lechonk. Lechonk.
It's a female chonkage.
Lechonk.
Lechonk. I wish Twitch would just let you bounce between accounts and not have to do the whole... I mean, two-factor is amazing, but just let me switch between the two while I'm signed in. It would be helpful. Brent, did you play Saturday?
What's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all had great numbers. That was like a very successful stream of embarrassing Warzone.
At some point, I think we had like 5 people in our group at one point.
I think I saw a peak of 7 on the stats.
No, I'm talking about to play the game.
Oh, nice. There we are.
I know a friend of the show Dale was asking, but I think we already had a full squad and everybody else disappeared on them. So I was like, I don't know.
Oh, there wasn't enough to fill out another trios or anything else. 'Tis the way of the war zones.
Yeah.
Richard.
Oh, it came in. The Biohazard bundle.
Yeah, play this PS3 game upscaled to PS4 on your PS5 now.
And use a PS2 controller and a PS1 AV composite cable. I don't know. I had to have something else in there. Or memory card.
Yeah. Kill, hunt, consume. 2 games plus DLC.
Did you ever get that? Did you ever get that Deadpool game, Brent, or did that thing disappear?
No, I haven't gotten it yet. It's kind of been on my radar though. So.
How much is it?
Let me see.
Is that on PS3 or PS4?
PS4,
that was
but it was like a limited.
We got
print.
6 people with us with this nonsense. Was it only on?
It'll be fine.
I thought it was on PS3 as well, or 360.
I think it is on PS3 and 360. I'm talking specifically the PS4 one because it was like one of those limited deals they had at the time. I think it delisted like very quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know that I ever would have purchased it on 360 specifically, but I do not own a copy of Deadpool for 360.
I mean, somebody has this. They say it's the Deadpool PS4 SKU for about $49.49.
That's
free shipping.
It's not bad.
$50.
This person just has the disc only. It's $50.
They can go to hell.
Complete. Yeah, this is a complete one that's also $50. So, ooh, looks like they scuffed up the disc a good bit though.
As one does. That's how I treat my games.
Beer.
You gotta love it.
Beer.
I think I've got 3 coming this week.
Oh, Brant, what'd you order? Or do you want to talk about that in your individual update?
Ooh.
How much games ordered?
Games ordered.
We're going from games played.
Games played to games ordered.
Can we please change the bit? I'll have way more to talk about. Can we please change the bit to games ordered?
Prototype came in, and so did Sly Collection. Because I've had it for the Vita, but I didn't have it for the PS3.
How much was Sly Collection? I know those are ranging like 40 to 50-ish, it seems like, the trilogy collections.
Let me see.
My Virtua Tennis, what is that? No, Top Spin 4 should be here tomorrow for PS3. Those Top Spins are getting expensive. I guess nobody's making tennis games. People want the tennis games, right?
Sly was a flat 50. Free shipping.
It's a Sly 50.
I've got
Welcome to the chat.
I've got 4 games.
What's coming?
4 games coming.
Look at you, Brant.
Did you see my 100 booster packs of Eye of Judgment for $49?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I did.
Cesar, join us. Eye of Judgment. 49 sealed packs.
So first one is Heavenly Sword.
You didn't have a copy?
Didn't have a copy. I'm jumping and getting the kind of bastardized 2012 Twisted Metal. I remember not liking it
Games Ordered
much when it released.
We're starting with Games Ordered. Did you rent it? Did you maybe rent it and take it back or something?
No, I bought it. I bought it and then played it for a little while. I was like, this, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. But it was on the cheaper end. I saw it for like $12, and then
it's not bad.
That listing disappeared really quickly, so I found one for like $24. So it had gone up.
Was that like price charting?
Very, very
was
quickly.
Price charting say?
I don't know. Oh. That was in like 5 days.
Damn.
So somebody snatched up the cheap one quick.
Hit me up for some,
God of War.
Hit me up for some of this and make sure I don't have it in surplus. I may have some of these.
God of War Ascension, which is another game that
bastard one.
That's the thing. I remember loving that game, and then I loaned it to a friend, and he loved it too. It was
never gave it back.
I mean, he
loved it so much he kept
after God of War 3. No, he gave it back. He was a good friend.
Not a bastard friend.
And then
was it you loaned Cesar a copy?
I did wind up caving and getting a Lollipop Chainsaw. That was my big spend.
Quanto. 80?
Do you really want to?
80.
Yeah. 80.
Okay, that's good. Remember, it was 50 new. It was 50 new. You paid somebody to store it for you and take care of it for 12 years.
$30 more.
You paid them.
You got to pay the tax. Storage tax.
And the other thing,
they don't just hold on to them for free. Eye Judgment booster pack number 2. Oh, you sent me that, the Versus book. Perfect guide. Is it the perfect guide?
Hell yes. I mean, it even blew my kid away. So the story behind this is I actually had a friend, my best friend, growing up.
Cesar.
Hit record, you bastard.
He had a extra copy of this book, and he and I played Pokemon games non-freaking stop. So he gave me this book, and it was my first guide as a kid, and this thing blew me away with the amount of detail. I mean, most people know how Pokemon games worked now, but I mean, this was pre those days where you could look up just about everything on a game.
Yeah.
I mean, we still had some gaming forums.
What do you mean, Brant? You weren't going to the public library looking on GameSages.com, trying to figure out how to catch Pokemon and how to go back to the library
56K dial-up library.
But this has
pay 25 cents for color copies of trainings.
This has everything from like the catch rates, for every Pokemon in each area, where you can find them. It's got a dex in the back to
catch
where
rates.
Yes, or well, encounter rates, I guess technically.
Okay.
Encounter rates. Sorry. It's got so if you have Charmander, you can go to the very back section and there's like a whole dex, and it's got every single Pokemon, tells you what level they evolve at, what moves they learn when.
Helpful, extremely helpful.
All their base stats, because they didn't get too complicated with these first games. I mean, it even has secrets like missing the missing number.
They weren't not complicated. They were just the early ones.
Yeah,
they were trying to figure out how to make these games. Cesar yelled at us to record. Should we be recording all this juicy content that's not in the episode?
Should have been.
I thought you were recording.
I usually do, but if it's not under like our usual, then I have to chop it up and add it to the end or something.
Brant, you're right, because at that whole bit, remember back in the old days, it's like everything was random battle, so you didn't know who you were fighting at the time. Like now you can see people out in the open field and know who.
Yeah.
Oh, the new Pokemons are like that?
Yeah. Yeah, you can see the Pokemon walking around. They're not.
People got tired of random encounters, so you can actually see. But it's still like an RNG thing, right?
After I fight fucking Magikarp for the 20th time, I get kind of irritated.
That's true.
And after, like, in the very, very back of the book, there's even like a little chart, and it has, Pokemon type and Pokemon type at the top, and it shows you what's good against what's type. And this book even does it correctly, because in the game there's technically there's something wrong. If you talk to one NPC near the Ghost Gym, or the Psychic Gym,
no, not the evil music.
Oh, I love that music. Violet Town or something.
The person tells you, oh, Ghost Pokemon are powerful against Psychic Pokemon. Well, if you actually get a Ghost Pokemon and go into the battle, you do no damage. Your moves do not affect the Psychic Pokemon. So the game was actually wrong. And this this guide actually shows the correct.
Oh, the translation was off.
Types and stuff. Yeah. So
I wonder what that was meant to say.
I don't know. And the thing was with this guide, I absolutely loved this guide. I cherished it. I don't know if I took it to a friend's house and left it there, if somebody took it, if parents wound up, looking around one day and, oh, well, this is something he doesn't need anymore.
This is old and childish.
Or
parents just don't understand.
Or if it was something that got lost when we moved or something like that.
Yeah.
But the person that had this guide took amazing care of it. I think there was like a little portion in the back that had I think it was like a little tear out portion. That's gone, of course.
No.
But I think I want to say it was a map or something. But other than that, it's got very minimal wear on the spine.
Looks nice.
And it's got
very clean.
And it's got one tiny crease in the corner, in that front corner. Otherwise, it looks amazing.
All right, so that's already updates for games ordered.
Ugh, I love it.
It's very clean, Brant. It looks good.
It's very clean. I'm so excited.
Games ordered? I don't think I've ordered
Games
anything.
ordered?
I think I got Room Factory 3 coming to me. Whatever that remake. That's it.
Okay. Substantial update. I guess I'll hit record now. We can start.
After we do games ordered.
Record.
Games ordered.
Games ordered.
I don't hate it. Our weekly updates. Brant's first.
I didn't know they ported that Deadpool game to PS4. Now Cesar's got me looking at that. Because I was thinking about it the other day and kind of looking at the PS3 copies.
Was it digital only on PS3? 360?
No.
I think they can't.
It was a physical.
I think they made a big deal about it because they were like, this game's going to be delisted.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that, and we may have talked about it on the show for some reason.
That was one of the games Nolan North did, I believe. He voiced Deadpool in that one.
Deadpool 2015.
I think I got a PS3 and a PS4 copy. I see the PS4 copy. PS3 one might be somewhere.
PS3's $20-ish, it looks like.
That's not bad.
There's one for 18 with manual / they started not putting manuals and stuff at this point.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I know that Sly Cooper one has the manual for everything in there, but Most of the other games, they had like just that slip of paper for your.
It's like basic controls
promotion.
And online. Yeah.
It was either the promotion or showed the controls, or it had your online code in there.
Yep. Or their
online pass.
There are other games
for that generation.
If you like Deadpool,
online pass for life.
Who made Deadpool? Does that say Raven? No, High Noon. No. High Moon.
High Noon.
Yeah, High Moon.
Yeah.
High Moon. High Noon. It was one of the High Studios.
Not one of your Dark Watch people.
Did they do High Moon? Is that High Moon? That sounds right. What else have they done?
Trust my
live correction.
Knowledge.
Cesar's live correction.
Trust my knowledge.
All right, let's get going here.
Yeah, almost 8:40.
Yeah,
let's get it going.
Cutting into our Warzone time. We can't let this happen.
No, let's cut. Yeah, I gotta go back to war tomorrow, man. Boo.
Sucks.
We need a whole week holiday.
Work sucks, and then we die.
I know.
I'm close to dying.
War sucks. I know.
That too.
Yes. I'm not the only one not having any fun. I got a funny feeling. Oh my gosh, Cesar rocking it with the big fish. Yeah.
You'll be at our show.
The real big fish. Oh, you're talking about Blink 182.
I switched up on the switched up on the work sucks. I know. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 271 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game podcast. Tonight, we're adding a segment to our games news, games played. We now have games ordered. So if you,
but you didn't record it, so you know
it's not recorded. You have to come early for the pre-show that we have no clue when it's actually going to start. So.
I guess technically, because we've got all the settings fixed on Twitch and YouTube, you could catch that content on there if you wish.
And it's an incentive to when you see us go live. Hey, tune in. You never know what type of content you're going to get. Probably poor.
Always.
Tonight's was good.
Always some kind of shenanigans going on.
Wasn't that great this week? We'll try again next week. The Tony Kornheiser sign off. Anyways, this is episode 271. We've done 271 of these. I hope this one is the best one you've ever heard. Tonight, Volition has closed after 30 years. I would like to close after 30 years. Borderlands collection announced. What is that? Question mark. I already have one of those. Final Fantasy 16 coming to PC and getting DLC. Interesting. I think we all love that game. New Mario-themed OLED model. And we have your September PlayStation Plus... or plus extra titles? Extra plus? Is it premium?
It's extra. It's extra plus price.
Okay, so it's not essential. Wait. Is it essential plus? PlayStation Plus essential? PlayStation Plus premium?
No.
Or is it PlayStation essential plus?
As in it's the extra games,
yes.
But there's an additional little story to go along with.
Yes, we have your September PlayStation
to infinity and beyond.
PlayStation Plus extra plus price increase.
Ugh.
Too many pluses. I'm one of your hosts, Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Newsmaster and Game Orderer Brant McKee.
Add another plus
to
it,
that?
Sir.
Game Orderer plus. Game Order
plus,
Essential
plus
Premium Plus. Also joining us, a fellow Game Orderer, Cesar Concepcion II. He's also our page master and lore master. How are you, sir?
Plus.
Hello.
Yes, have you... Someone added plus to the news. Is that along with Hulu Plus and Disney Plus and all the other ones?
Plus Infinity.
Plus Infinity.
Yes.
Infinity Collection. I mean, we said all the pluses, then we're going to pivot to another story. Do we start with that one?
Minus.
We subtract? Addition by subtraction show?
Yes.
Where the fuck is my news? Everything's lost. Let's go to Chris Scullion at VideoGamesChronicle.com. He states, and he's just reporting, this was already out there on Twitter, Saints Row developer Volition has been closed effective immediately. Embracer Group has closed the studio as part of its restructuring plan. A message from the studio reads, the Volition team has proudly created world-class entertainment for fans around the globe for 30 years. We've been driven by a passion for our community and always work to deliver joy, surprise, and delight. That's our only main goal at this podcast as well. Interesting. We might get embraced before too long. No, that was part of the quote. This past June, Embracer Group announced a restructuring program to strengthen Embracer and maintain its position as a leader in the video game industry. How does that feel then when your studio gets cut out of that? As part of that program, they have evaluated strategic and operational goals and made the difficult decision to close Volition effective immediately. It must not have been that difficult. To help our team, we are working to provide job assistance and help smooth the transition for our Volition family members. We thank our customers and fans around the world for all the love and support over the years. You will always be in our hearts. Volition formed over 30 years ago as Parallax Software Corporation before changing its name to Volition in 1996. 10 years before Brant was born. The studio was acquired by THQ in 2000, 5 years before Brant was born. And when THQ went bankrupt in 2012, when Brant was 4, it was then acquired by Coach Media. We going with Coach Media? What do we decide that?
It's Coach.
It is
it's
Coach? All right.
Yeah.
Put me in the game, Coach. And placed under its deep silver label. Coach, now known as Plaion, of course, was then acquired by Embracer Group in 2018. In its early days, the studio was best known for the Descent series, as well as the Red Faction games. I was trying to describe Descent to Jeremy. I said it's like a corridor shooter, but you're not in a corridor. It's 360 degrees. You're going towards an objective or whatever, and you could go into like a pipe that's off to like 9 o'clock, or it's 5 o'clock. Like you could dip, and it was almost nauseating the way it moved and stuff, but it was also very cool. It was a good 3D space movement, I thought. And VR seems to work well in that same Descent style. You're moving the ship forward and you can look around with the VR. That type of movement and concept. I love Descent. I used to like it a lot. They're also known for the Red Faction games, but it was the Saints Row series between Saints Row 2, and Saints Row the Third, and Saints Row 4 that became the studio's most popular franchise. In recent years...
I'm looking here, Richard. It says you can buy the trilogy pack for Descent for $20 and play it on your Steam Deck.
The trilogy?
You really want to relive it all.
Is it Steam Deck?
It's all there for you.
Is it Steam Deck?
It's playable, yeah.
Go on. Richard runs to retrieve Steam Deck to buy Descent. They made a spiritual successor. I feel like it came out like 3 or 4 years ago. It wasn't this team, though. I think it was some devs that split off. I can't remember what the name of that was. I feel like we were keeping up with it on the show. Don't recall. Live corrections. Our hearts go out to everyone. This is us, I guess. Our hearts go out to a Volition team. I know that Saints Row game was not super well received.
Yeah.
I was kind of on the fence about it. Now they gave it to us last month, or they're giving it to us this month, maybe? Oh, yeah. It's going to be in this news.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Oh, Saints Row. This is a Saints Row episode. Guess what? Spoilers for the last story bit. Fast forward your tape.
I can't remember if we really got into it, but I know this came after Embracer Group was in some kind of $1 billion deal, and we found out not too long ago that I guess some Saudi-backed company was behind the deal, and then they backed out of it, which caused all of this madness at Embracer Group. Their stocks plummeted, so now they're doing this whole restructuring thing, and it really sucks that after 30 years, Volition is just immediately closed. And I know also they talked about how Gearbox is suffering some layoffs as well.
I think they said it was just publishing, right? Not the actual Gearbox studio.
Yeah.
So it's the publishing branch that does like marketing and all that stuff. And actually, okay.
But they did come out and say that, it is not something that they really want to do, but they are going to try and help these employees find other gainful employment elsewhere.
It's good.
So, hopefully they find it, because it sucks being at org.
Yep. And we've talked about this since Embracer Group and THQ Nordic at the time started buying up all these corporations. Like, eventually the shoe was going to drop. They were going to merge and restructure and reassign, and then people were going to be losing jobs, which always sucks. Yeah. Consolidation.
They were on a tear for a while there, man. They just kept every like couple months, it was like Embracer buys this, people Embracer buys this.
That's
it's left and right.
That's the positive part of the tear that you're talking about. I think now we're going to start seeing the downturn of that tear.
Yeah,
they're not the first. And Gearbox, as you mentioned, the publishing division.
That was weird.
My mic was very unhappy at the moment. Next up, also from VideoGamesChronicle.com, Complete Borderlands. Speaking of Gearbox, this is from Tom Ivan. Complete Borderlands collection announced. Third game also coming to Switch. This is the Borderlands collection. Pandora's Box is coming to Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, PS5, PC via Steam on September 1st, 2023, which means it's already out. While Borderlands 3 Ultimate Edition for Nintendo Switch will follow on October 6th. The former includes all 6 Borderlands games, Borderlands, Borderlands 2, Borderlands the pre-sequels, Tales from the Borderlands, Borderlands 3, and new Tales from the Borderlands, plus all their DLC in one bundle for the first time. This is digital only at a suggested retail price of $149.99, but 2K says it'll be available for a discounted price of $59.99 for a limited time. Xbox players who already own a digital copy of any of the titles included in the collection will be able to complete the set for $30 via the Microsoft Store. PlayStation players who own a digital or physical copy of Borderlands Game of the Year Edition or Borderlands The Handsome Collection for PS4 or a digital or physical copy of Borderlands 3 for PS5 or PS4 will also be able to complete the collection via a $30 upgrade available in-game. Good grief. This is like Borderlands as a service. These are viable paths to victory, though, you know? They're not bad.
Yeah.
PC players who have previously bought a digital copy of any game in the collection will only pay for the content they don't already own, which Steam is natively very, very good at with bundles. With an updated price reflected on the Steam page for Borderlands Collection Pandora's Box, I checked. I think when mine was going to be like $24 to finish out the rest of the Borderlands stuff. But I know I didn't have the Tales of the Borderlands stuff. So that's right, yours might have been cheaper unless you already had everything. I know you like those Tales games.
Digital and physical. I don't know if I would jump on any of these for $30.
Yeah, don't quite think I'm itching to man, if I had totally plowed through all this content before, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds like a good proposition. But
I mean, if any of these like these Borderlands games that I play online a lot, if I played online a lot, then I'll be like, yeah. So.
And you and I played what, like 2 hours of Borderlands 3?
Yeah.
I know that's me that's bugging. I'm not sure why. Borderlands 3 Ultimate Edition for Switch costs $60. Of course, do you only get Borderlands 3 if you buy that? And is available to pre-order now. It contains the base game, which was released for PC and other consoles in 2019, plus all the game's DLC and bonus cosmetic packs. Borderlands Collection Pandora's Box leaked last month when it was classified by South Africa's Film and Publication Board, although its contents were only confirmed today. Man, I've been putting our podcast in the wrong category on Apple Podcast. I should have been putting us in Film and Publication. Sorry, guys. It's killing our listenership. We're not in the right skew there. We're not in the right genre. Someone told me about this Final Fantasy 16 content. It's exciting.
So this comes from Andy Robinson at VGC as well. This was reported, I guess he was doing a panel at PAX West. The producer of Final Fantasy 16, Mr. Yoshida, said it's been about 2 months since Final Fantasy XVI's release. We received enormous amount of feedback from players all around the world. The development team has been watching videos and streams, paying attention to what everyone thinks of the game, of course. Today, as of the panel, I know my game updated as well. They pushed a pretty big patch. There's a full thing of patch notes down here, but essentially it boils down to there's actually like new looks for a bunch of the characters. There's different costumes,
interesting
clothing and things like that, as well as the weapon cosmetics. So maybe you like the way one weapon looks, but you like the stats of another weapon. You can actually change out the actual look of the weapons. Cool.
How big was the update? Did it say anywhere?
I am trying to look now. It wasn't a humongous patch.
Okay.
From what I remembered, it took like maybe a couple minutes to download, so it wasn't like an enormous thing. But of course, down here at the bottom, to accommodate, the development team has started to work on 2 installments of paid DLC.
Good stuff.
And they continue to say, even though it was exclusive released on, as a PS5 exclusive, we are aware many of you have been looking for a PC version. So they're taking the opportunity to officially announce the development of the PC version. They do talk that they hope to announce more details for the DLC and PC version before the end of this year. But as of right now, that's about all we know, or that's all he gave us, is that, hey, we two paid DLCs in development, and PC version is coming. So,
good update. I think they have the voice actors out there too for their own panel.
I know I'd be interested to see, because I know Final Fantasy VII, the remake, they made it Steam Deck supported immediately. So,
would you double dip on this one?
I may double dip on that one.
Be fun to play portably.
It would be fun to.
Or you could just buy your new PSP and play it in the bed on the PS5 you already own. Buy your new PSP, Brant.
Ooh. Ooh.
I knew Cesar would jump at that one.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I've already committed anti-brand and pre-ordered my version of PlayStation
Boo,
4.
Sony corporate greed.
I'm also trying to commit anti-branticide and figure out how to purchase very subtly purchase my device.
If I use it, it's not greed. It's a difference.
Also true.
Yeah.
We're just consumers, Brant. We're just consumers trying to find a way to enjoy a product.
I'm not like some consumers who are like, oh, the newest Sony product, and then put it on their shelf with like, job well done. And we're there to ever stay and never be used.
Well, there's also something else you can buy, Cesar. A brand new Switch OLED model.
Well done, Segway. I can always respect this.
So I didn't put this in as the Nintendo Direct specifically because I know how you gentlemen are, and I didn't know if you really wanted to get into everything they talked about with Mario Wonder, or are we going in blind?
I haven't seen anything.
It's a day one automatic purchase.
They showed some gameplay and characters and whatnot. So if you're interested to see that, look up the Nintendo Direct on YouTube. It's a 14-minute Direct. Did
anything about it say you would not want to play this game, or you would not recommend it to me or Cesar? Okay, so exactly.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Did you see it was the number one selling game on Amazon for like 48 hours after it's like immediate effect. I did not
see that. The
Direct effect.
Wow. So at the very, very end of it, though, they did announce a brand new OLED. So this is a Mario-themed OLED, which we've had the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom OLED, we've had a Splatoon OLED, we've had a Pokemon OLED. Heck, even before that, we had the Animal Crossing Switch and everything. And you remember those all had nice, beautiful, elaborate designs on the Joy-Cons, nice little details here and there. This is just a red Switch with a red dock.
And also on the back,
on the very, very back of the dock, there's a tiny little silhouette of a Mario, and then when you open up the back to connect your cables into the dock, you'll see
all this stuff they put back there.
You will see a stack of Mario coins in there, which I have to say, it is a nice little touch, but come on, y'all. They could have designed it a little bit more. rather than just red.
It's a good looking red.
Launching October 6th. It's a nice looking red, but they technically did a Mario Switch, and didn't the dock look like his overalls or something? And because we already had red Joy-Cons and stuff
like
to go with
dream.
that.
Was that a legit one?
I'm gonna find it.
The overalls or the Switch dock?
I'm gonna find it. No, I think they did that for like the 35th. It was like they did a Mario themed Switch.
The overalls was like some kind of weird accessory pack. Because he came out with like
it seems like a fever dream.
One that had a whole bunch of...
We're not doubting you.
Gosh. It may have not had the overalls on it, but I remember a Mario themed
Press
Switch
X to doubt.
already. Available October 6th, a couple weeks before the actual Mario Wonder game. And of course, the suggested retail price is just like the other themed OLEDs, which would be $349.49.
Which, please don't pay the idiots on eBay already running this price up. That Zelda one is at every single store, retail outlet that I go to that sells Nintendo Switch consoles. Do not act crazy. Do not overbuy. Especially as the Switch kind of dwindles downhill as far as adoption. They're getting... less desirable? I don't know. They're still selling a shit ton of them, but they're not. It's not a mania to try to find one in stock or when they release one of these limited edition ones. But maybe the Mario one will be different. Cesar, did you find the Brant edition, Fever Dream, coverall edition, overall edition?
I found the Switch cases. Yeah.
Oh,
that's the ones I think.
I'm about to say I see the Switch cases,
dock.
And that might be what I'm thinking about. Yeah. As for there is a bright red Mario Switch that was in the sideways box, and it came with instead of the black holder that you'd slide the Joy-Cons in, that was blue.
Oh, okay.
Because I see that.
Overalls.
That was the better battery Switch. This one, it's just a red system, red Joy-Cons, black Joy-Con holder. So they didn't even do the blue holder for it. And that red box better battery Switch came with a Mario themed case. It came with the little Joy-Con rails.
Oh, nice.
Were
yeah,
blue,
I remember that. I remember that bit of kit
and
there.
it had little yellow coin.
Pretty clean. That didn't look bad.
To
Was that the 35th anniversary?
No,
Is that what that one was? When we got 3D All-Stars and all that stuff? Yeah, that almost looks like a Black Friday special. Here's a special Mario edition SKU for Black Friday. It still comes with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like it has for the past 6 years.
The OG screen.
Yep. Man, please give us another Mario Kart. We need to play the new tracks. I think Cesar was the only one that had played it at that point.
Yeah, I played the recent ones. I fired it up one and just
tried out those tracks.
I don't know why, but yeah, I did. Yeah.
Might as well.
It's a good time.
$349. Anything else? Mario Wonder comes out October 20th. Its new gimmick is the Wonder Flower.
October stacked, man.
Oh, they also, during their last quarterly financial results, Nintendo said Switch's global lifetime sales stood at 129.53 million by the midpoint of 2023. Yep. Zelda shipped almost... Oh, no, driven by the release of Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo shipped 3.91 million Switch units. We knew that was coming. I wonder how many of those during that Tears of the Kingdom period was that Tears of the Kingdom SKU. Or if people were just like, I need a Switch to play Zelda. And those are new systems. How many people went and got a pre-owned console at the same time?
Yeah.
Might be a shit ton of new Switch adopters during that Tears of the Kingdom release. Just like it will be for Mario. The evergreen console. Alright, let's get into it. PlayStation Plus monthly games for September. Saints Row. Don't buy this game. Wait for it to come to PlayStation Plus. I think the last time it was like $10. Cesar and I were talking about it, and he was like, I think it's coming to one of these services pretty soon.
Like, yeah. critically panned.
I mean, I'm not like the
reboot
biggest Saints Row fan to begin with, so I mean, if I was, I was like, yeah, $10, fuck with it. But I think I've owned multiple copies of different Saints Rows, but I don't think I've ever actually sat down and played any of them, to be honest. So.
It's like GTA
Silly.
on drugs.
Ooh, that's saying something.
Yeah.
I played 3. Was 3 the one with the dildo bat? Like, that was a lot of fun to just run around and whack people with that thing, so.
I think I've got that on the PS3 because that was one of our PlayStation Plus games from that generation.
That was a good one. Saints Row, which they just appropriately called for their final one. They've said since then those franchises aren't going anywhere, so they might not be Volitions anymore, but
yeah.
I mean, they'll give it to another studio who have another whack at it.
Dildo bat whack. Good old whack.
Whatever your dreams may bring to you, sir.
I just want to know how do you swing that bat? Do you swing it like this?
Play the game, sir. You and I can play the game, and we'll see how the bat gets swung at each other. Along with Saints Row, we're getting Black Desert Travel Edition. I don't know what that is. Find your calling in this open-world fantasy MMORPG, which boasts fast-paced PvE combat, large-scale PvP siege wars, multiple character classes and combat types to specialize in. You can also choose to dedicate yourself to a variety of pursuits, such as trade, fishing, horse training. Yeah, I want to dedicate myself to trade. That's Pokemon, right, Jeremy? Alchemy, Kilking, and Gathering. The Traveler Edition is a bundle of the base game and multiple add-ons. Does anybody know what that is? Anybody have a clue?
No clue.
None whatsoever.
We're also getting Generation Zero, this first-person open-world adventure set in a familiar but hostile open world of 1980s Sweden. So familiar. so familiar, so hostile.
Very Sweden.
Remember when we were in Sweden in the 1980s? I mean,
Cesar and I could have been. I don't think that's a...
Super familiar.
I don't think that's something you could have been familiar with.
I wasn't. I was living in West Germany in the 1980s. So
you take that back, sir. We get in my DeLorean and we hit 88 miles per hour. You're gonna see some
once we
serious
get
shit.
1.21 gigawatts. Battle and survive deadly machine enemies alone or 3 friends in seamless online co-op. Do we give this a shot? Do we try this online?
Online co-op.
It's free. As you discover the truth behind what's happening to the region.
Quotation marks around free.
Also free.
Yeah.
It's free.
We're getting to that, Cesar.
We're
getting to that, Cesar. Scavenge parts from your fallen enemies and use them to craft equipment, weapons, and ammunition. Build and fortify your own bases across the island and start taking back your home. These descriptions are just more and more funny to me. And it's the 1980s Sweden, I think, that's the most unique thing. Bush said, "Keep Pokemon out of my mouth." I'm not sure that dedicating my life to trading is going to be applied in Generation Zero, much like it is in Pokemon, any Pokemon title.
I mean, you are literally the worst Pokemon.
I'm the world's worst. So I had to describe to somebody at work. They were trying to rope me into a fantasy football league, Final Fantasy Football League, and I was like, listen, I'm going to make the team. I'll participate in the draft, that sort of thing. And then I'm going to ride with the exact same team for the rest of the season. I'll never make any trades. I'll never do anything. It's exactly the way I play Pokemon. I'm not going to participate. I'm not going to trade. It's just, I'm going to drop it. I'm going to drop it and not check in. I'm going to be the worst fantasy football player of all time. As Brant and Cesar have both alluded to, the PlayStation blog mentions at the very bottom of the post, we also want to let you know that starting September 6th, we will be increasing the price for PlayStation Plus 12-month subscriptions globally across all benefit plans. This price adjustment will enable us to continue bringing high-quality games, like Saints Row, Black Desert Travel Edition, and Generation Zero, and value-added benefits to your PlayStation Plus subscription service. Here are the new prices for PlayStation Plus 12-month subscription plans. We are in the United States. I'll be reading US dollar subscription plans. PlayStation Plus Essential, which is your basic 12-month subscription plan, that is going up to $79.99 US dollars. It was $59.99. Are they all 20? Is it all a $20 increase?
It's about a 30 to 35%.
Not a flat dollar amount. PlayStation Plus Extra 12-month subscription is going from $99, I'm guessing. $99.99 US dollars, not $900 US dollars.
Nobody knows. I mean, I got fucking premium edition till like 2026, so I don't even look at that shit anymore.
Yeah, PlayStation Plus Extra is going up to $134.99 US for the 12-month. And PlayStation Plus Premium, that Cesar mentioned, is going up to $159.99 for a year. These aren't even monthly rates. Damn.
Yeah, there's a yearly one.
The new prices for the 12-month subscription will remain at a discounted rate when compared to purchasing the 1-month or 3-month subscription over a 12-month period. For current 12-month subscribers, this price increase will not take effect until your next renewal date that occurs on or after November 6th. So you can buy another extension before November 6th if you're an existing participant. However, any membership changes you make on or after September 6th, such as upgrades, downgrades, or buying additional time, will update your plan reflecting the new prices. Never mind to what I just said. That says the opposite. You can change or cancel your subscription at any time. Details are here. There is a hyperlink on this PlayStation blog. I don't know if this site is factual. I will not be clicking that hyperlink. We'll notify current subscribers of these changes via email, and we'll have additional details on our website soon. This is not good consumer news, so of course they hit it at the bottom of the blog post.
And a bad time was had by all. Internet was not very happy about this. But their stocks did go up.
Looks good to bring in more money, right? It's all about subscriptions. It'd be interesting to see. But I think I needed to see what was being added to this at the same time as a value proposition, because we've argued before on the show that maybe the value proposition is not there for the higher tier or maybe the middle tier at this point for certain things.
I dropped immediately I jumped immediately to premium.
We all did.
When they talked about classic games, and then they started bringing classic games, and after about 4 months of that, they weren't really bringing it. We haven't really seen any PS2 games into the service. No. They're treating PS4 games that got remasters, technically, that are remasters of PS2 games, I guess. They're treating those as PS2.
Or like the Jack and Daxter
some PSP.
But you could stream. Yeah. Could you stream the Jack and Daxter collection and not do that PS2 one?
Yeah.
You can stream the PS3 one maybe? Or I know you can't Sly Cooper in the Ratchet collection.
So I dropped to Extra. And Extra, I mean, there's a lot in there. But I know as soon as they announced this price hike, I immediately was like, they're going to have me dropping back to the dang vanilla subscription, because it's pretty steep, because we haven't even had this new tier for a full year yet. Like, they
really
just made these. I mean, I don't think so, because my account hasn't renewed yet.
So you upgraded to like finish out something that you had, and then you started the premium or the extra tier, whatever the middle one was, which still would have got you Stray, which you streamed and enjoyed.
Yeah.
And do you still get the like Returnal and stuff like that with that middle tier?
Yeah.
I'd like to see what warranted that extra on their premium.
The top tier, I mean, they talked about how they're adding streaming. I'm guessing that's what they're talking about when they officially add streaming. Cesar's talked about he's already in the beta for that, and it works pretty well.
Yeah.
So, which I remembered the code name is Kronos. I know I was struggling to remember that last week.
Correction. I'll go back and edit that in.
Code name Kronos for the cloud streaming stuff, but other than that, what they talk about more benefits. What's the benefits?
I'm not sure what that could be. And I was in, like, Cesar converted, and he did that conversion and got premium like years out. I did the same thing with Game Pass so long ago, and then when it came time to actually pay, I was like, do I have to have Game Pass? They started rolling back everything I was playing. Infinite Warzone, I could play all of it without Game Pass. It's like, do I have to have this? And now,
see,
go ahead.
They've done this wrong back in the day when they were talking about, oh, well, we're going to make you pay for online. It was like, man, nobody really wanted to do it, but then they started the monthly program with these games with gold, and then you got the PlayStation, I don't even think it was PlayStation Plus at that time. It was just the PlayStation Network You got the free titles every month. So
what was that called? Was it PlayStation Plus?
I don't know, because it wasn't PlayStation Plus until the PS4.
It was like PlayStation Network Online Pass or something.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I wanted to bounce this off you guys. Almost text y'all before the show. Target has Game Pass console. They have 6 months for $41.99. Does that give me Starfield for 6 months for $42?
Gives you whatever's in Game Pass.
Game Pass console. So the core, the Game Pass core, and all those other tiers they announced, that hasn't kicked in yet, right?
Oh no.
I think all this does is I can't play Game Pass on PC, which I never did, because I can't use it on Steam Deck officially.
Yeah, because Ultimate just gives you the cloud, like xCloud stuff.
But this is not okay. So that separates that. So I can't do.
You can't do the xCloud stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure. I think you'd be able to get anything that's on Game Pass currently.
I think I think Brant's right. It's just locked to whatever the Game Pass for an Xbox console.
Download locally.
You can't do cloud. You can't do
the quick stream.
You can't do cloud. You can't do PC.
Okay. Can I do the quick stream thing? Like instead of downloading Gears of War Ultimate, I just stream Gears of War Ultimate, or is that counted as part of the cloud thing?
I think it's counted as cloud.
I think
console is whatever you get. Everything coming to Game Pass. It says you have to download it locally. There's no streaming. There's no.
I was already doing that anyways. Maybe this is a good proposition for me to play some Starfield. 6 months for $42. That's at Target.com currently. They have a 3-month one for $20.99. But that also is like the old Xbox Live Gold, right? So Russell's trying to get me to play Battlefield 3 or something like that on the 360 one. And his friends are playing that, and they all have Ultimate, I believe. I think I could get by with this with just the Game Pass console. Or does that not include the online? It has to include the online stuff. All the Game Pass stuff.
It does include online.
Yeah, I thought so. Hey, this might be a good way to play that. Either do the 3 months. So 3 months is $20.99 or 6 months is $41.99. Intrigued. That's out there. I'm sure we'll start seeing deals on that PlayStation Plus tier too. If you wait and time your subscriptions and all that, you can pretty much never pay full price for those subs. So it's just a matter of waiting for a sale or buying a subscription card or PlayStation Network card or something like that and redeeming it at the right time. Is that it for news? Are we done?
That's it.
40 minutes in.
Yep.
Are we going to games ordered or games played? Games owned.
Games played.
Almost said games owned. Y'all want to start with games owned?
No.
So that's how you go first.
Some 2,000 games, and I know y'all have way more.
Still copy Metal Gear Solid 3D.
You can't start with M. You got to start with like 1080 snowboarding. You have to start with a number.
I told you only on one game. It's Metal Gear Solid 3 sealed on 3DS. That's the only.
That's not a bad game to own.
Still
fun could be had with that title.
Got to get the Circle Pad Pro.
Yes, it's fun to play with.
Break out the Circle Pad.
Hey, you could crouch and shoot the gun at the same time in that one.
I got the LL. I don't need it.
Get the LL. 3DS LL. I've been playing some Sea of Stars. We've talked about this past couple weeks. I was hyped on the demo. Cesar and I kickstarted it. Cesar 8 different editions. They sent me. I stayed up. Was that the night of the podcast? I think I stayed up super late, and they sent me my code at like 12 o'clock. And so I redeemed it and then immediately put in like 30 hours. I put in 30 minutes. I put in 30 minutes like at midnight. So that was like a midnight release. Like awesome. Just I've been waiting for this game. Let's try it out. Has a great intro. So if you played the demo, you've met the characters. The main two are Zale and Valere. And then there's a third character that you have in the demo, and you meet this character in like a flashback early on. So the core of the story has these two young adventurers kind of getting into some trouble by trying to get into a magic school, and by getting into trouble get hereby inducted into the magic school. So they've the writing is still super funny. They keep talking about sewing, like there was all this alluding to sewing in this school, and then there's a whole bit where you see them sewing this tapestry, and they're talking back and forth about this sewing thing, and I'm like, okay, this is This is a straight 16-bit RPG where they add this stuff in there. Probably like an hour into that. It's nothing super major. We played some Warzone. Do we have a win over the past week? I don't think so. Maybe tonight we strike. We got our initial dub.
We did that last week.
We did do that. And then this doesn't count as a game I actually played, but there were some friends over with some teenage youngsters, and they were scoping out PS5 collection, like what's great on PS5, and they saw Resident Evil 4. And it's like, let's try Resident Evil 4. And I already had it updated somehow, so we just had to pop the disc in, which was really nice that it just like kept updating in the back, or it just hasn't updated in a long time. And then we all cooperatively managed to put like 5 hours into Resident Evil 4. I know you guys played through it earlier in the year.
Great game.
Yes, it's fantastic. It is so good. And it's different. It's different from the GameCube one. Like I keep thinking like, oh, I remember that. But it's a reimagining of sorts. Like things do happen differently. I kept waiting for. I knew as soon as you started the game, you helped a wolf. Like there's a wolf in a bear trap, right? And the bear traps end up being this whole big thing in the game. But the wolf didn't happen till like 2.5, 3 hours in. And one of the participants in playing the cooperative playthrough wanted to shoot the wolf in the bear trap, and I was like, please don't do that. We're all playing this. We're all deciding this story. Please don't do that. Please help this wolf. Let's see what happens later on down the road. There were some funny moments. We were playing on the normal mode to start with, but...
I mean, you're not going to abandon the wolf like you abandoned all your other Pokemon?
The pig Pokemon, especially Jeremy's Pokemon. We went from normal to assisted mode. So there's like a story-based mode called assisted mode. And at one point it wasn't the initial village encounter, but it was like the second one where it's basically just kind of a survival thing. So many people flooded at Leon, and the person playing is Leon, that on this assisted mode, there's just a bunch of people running around in this house and the chainsaw guy, and everybody's milling around like at a concert on assisted mode, and nobody will kill Leon, and Leon can't shoot anybody, and you can't move, and they're all just packed into this house. But there's still like some franticness to it, like get out of there, I can't, there's people in the way. The chainsaw's right there. And they made the chainsaw guy super scary in this one, like his eyes are all separated and bug-eyed, and the art design on this remake is really, really, really good. The wolves are super scary. They're like mostly mouthed in the front. Oh, man, they come running towards you.
Fuck those things.
They come running towards you.
Those guys and the guys with the dang bullhead on their
we haven't got to them.
Terrible.
We saw a bull on fire in one of the villages. Like there was a bull actually on fire. Like that thing was wicked looking. But it's funny seeing them play. This is their first Resident Evil game. It's funny seeing them play a Resident Evil title. And one of them's asking me about the T-Virus. Like, where's the T-Virus at? I'm like, I don't think it's in this one. And then Leon gets injected by the leader Ganado guy with whatever that cell is. He's like, look, there it is. I knew the T-Virus was coming. Look, he just got hit with it.
As Los Plagueis.
We met Luis briefly. I thought he was way earlier in the title, but he's like, he was like 3 hours in, like stuffed in a bag. I think that's Luis. It may not be Luis in this rendition. They're not really calling her Ashley. They're calling her Baby Eagle. So the kids are getting a crack out of the Baby Eagle. When they call Leon on we're playing on PS5. You can hear it on the controller. So it's like a super cool immersive thing. One of the players did not enjoy. They were like, when I pull out the pistol, I just pull the trigger and it shoots. When I pull out the shotgun, I have to like pull it to pull the shotgun. And I'm explaining like, yeah, that's the PS5 haptic feedback. How do I turn it off? I'm like, you don't. That's a feature. You don't turn it off. It's a great thing about the game. And and they learned to like it. Like, oh, now I have the shot. I feel the pull of the shotgun when I shoot it and the pistol. So they came around on the haptic feedback. I was like, we're gonna keep this. This is an important thing about this platform. It's the reason we got this version. I have to validate the purchase of this version specifically. But I think that's it. I think that's all. Those are my games ordered this week. What did I say I had coming in? That was in the pre-show. I've got Top Spin 4 for PS3 and I got a new dishwasher motherboard coming in. Hopefully that fixes it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's acting a fool. And I've already done all the ribbon cable swaps and everything else I know to do. And I ordered caps, but I don't see... Have you ever replaced capacitors on things?
No.
Usually either see it corroding or bulging, right? Those are the two telltale signs of caps.
Yeah.
There's nothing on this board that would make me think caps are bad. But everything, a lot of the other things like the signal not going through and it working sometimes, not working sometimes, like we can cut power to... No, this is not what people come for in this podcast. You guys are interested. Brant's like,
Troubleshooting.
Yeah, troubleshooting. But we usually kill power to the dishwasher and turn the power back on, and that seems to like power cycle it through. I don't know what the fix is, but it's an older model, so the board's like $30. Buish says dishwasher simulator. Yes, we're playing dishwasher simulator. It's the highly successful, or it's the sequel to the highly successful Power Wash simulator.
Last time I remember, you have 2 kids, so you've got 4 hands ready to be dishwashers.
Brant said they're ready to go. You mean 2 hands for washing and 2 hands for drying? Let them go to town.
Yep. Oh yeah. Work in tandem. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Brant's like, in this household, we're not ordering another board. We're doing this thing manually. Put a useful
Jeremy,
appliance in
eat
there.
The pods. Don't ever eat the pods, Jeremy. Don't ever eat the pods.
Tide Pods.
Has anyone ever eaten the Tide Pods, or do we all just collectively laugh at this phenomenon as what is occurring? Would you eat a Tide Pod? Is there a monetary value attached to the Tide Pod that would convince you to consume it? Just one. Brent's all about getting kids to wash the dishes, but his mama didn't wash his mouth out with soap like mine. I ate some Tide Pods here. They weren't Tide Pods in the 80s. It was if I said something, mouth got washed out with soap.
No, Mama just came after me with the plastic spoons.
Bush is referring to the Tide Pods as the devil's candy. Don't go by his house on Halloween.
Yeah, you'll meet the devil sooner if you eat it.
How bad would that be to drop Tide Pods in the trick or treat basket?
Oh, that's terrible. Please do not do that.
Sounds like you're gonna get arrested.
Yes.
We do not condone.
Oh, please, can we make some NOFODcast merch with our logo printed on Tide Pods? We just melt in your dishwasher.
They've got a little jack-o'-lantern face on them. Perfect for Halloween.
Like the remember the little goblin bombs? It's like that, but it's a Tide Pod inside of it.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Yeah. What's in here? Marshmallows? Only one way to find out. Pop it, kiddo. All right, those are my games ordered this week. I ordered that straight to my Steam Deck.
You ordered it right there.
Oh god. All right.
Cesar, did you?
I'm still on
Did you watch the the live action One Piece? I've got to know. Our adoring fans must know. Is there too much source involved?
It does a very good job of highlighting all the high, like the good moments from the manga and anime, and you can pretty much watch the first 60 or 70 episodes of the anime down to 8 episodes in the live action. It covers everything, like all the most important parts. Does a very good job.
That seems.
So if you want a way to consume One Piece in a more sensible manner, the live action would be the way to do it, because it has all the heart and everything, and even the big moments they have from the manga and anime, they made sure to include those in the live action. It's very
excellent.
Good.
So the right amount of source.
Yes, I mean there's some stuff they kind of differ on, but I think some of the stuff's been hinted in the manga and anime, and I think they kind of went that route on this live action. So there's some theories still going on certain characters, and then they kind of went with those theories in this live action. So
very cool. All right, I had to know. There was much talk about this. I feel like last week I had to know.
Yeah, it's if you want to just try to consume One Piece, this is a good way of doing it. So.
That's good to know too. Save you 60 hours. 52 hours.
I mean it's literally the first arc, which is about 70 episodes, and they did it in 8. So probably the first 100 chapters probably in the manga too. Does a pretty good job. Yeah, they did a very good job with it. Very good. I'd be interested to see how, because it's weird how they did such a good job with this with One Piece, and it's like the most wacky one to
I would
probably
think
do
that
live
would be
action,
one of the most difficult ones to pull off because they've tried like Cowboy Bebop and Dragon Ball.
And they shit the bed with Cowboy Bebop and Death Note, but somehow they were able to pull it off with the One Piece.
That's awesome.
It's pretty interesting. So yeah, I think it's because Oda had a lot of say in there. So
that's important.
I think I was reading somewhere where he told him that he had limitations on the show. He said he didn't want any romance between any of the crew members. Like he's like, all right, and then he had to prove all the changes. So like they're like, all right, this is different. He's all right. He had it proved.
Huh.
So like he had 100% control. Like he reviewed all the scripts and oversaw everything. Because I think like even like the nationalities for the characters, he had a discussion somewhere like in 2013 or 2010. He always said that Luffy was Spanish. You know, and Robin was from like Russia, and Sanji was Australian.
Very cool.
And so like they cast everybody based off those nationalities. So Usopp, I think, was from Africa, if I remember correctly. So like they cast everybody based off what he had said. So yeah, I think he had to prove all the cast and everything. It's very
cool.
Good. It's very good.
I didn't mean to sidebar your games ordered, but I know our adoring fans needed a One Piece live action update.
Yeah, I mean it's a good way to consume One Piece if you want to consume One Piece, and I mean if you like it, then you can take the leap into the
right. But it's faithful. It's a proper adaptation of One Piece. They've done a great job. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. I mean, then when they do Drum Drum Island and Arabasta is when they starts getting more out there. So I'll be interested in see how they would do all those, because this is probably the most grounded one.
This arc.
They even got your guy. I forgot what his name is, but they even got your boy from the one that Usopp's villain on his island, where he had the glasses and he had to lift them up with the palms in his hands because he had the claws. So I was like, and that whole time, cool. It's like that whole time when he's interacting with them, he's like, he's always used to do this. That butler with the glasses, he didn't know until he found out he was a pirate. He couldn't lift his glasses up; he had claws for his hands.
That's awesome.
Yeah, all those bits are in there.
That's a great touch. Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I think earlier today I completed sorry Jeremy, but I went ahead and completed Pokemon.
Oh no! Jeremy's gonna block, mute, unfollow.
Everything. Yeah. I mean, I got further than you did. So, but last dig of the day. So there in Pokemon Violet, there's like 3 main storylines. It's like you have Victory Road, then you have Starfall Street, and then you have Path of Legends, and then you have the end of the game, which is called The Way Home. So like the Victory Road is like the same as it always been in every Pokemon game, where you have to become the champion and you go and defeat the 8 gyms, and then you go to the Pokemon League and then you fight your rival. And the rival in this one is Nimona, and she's like versus being a rival that is like negative towards you, she's kind of like one of those ones that she looks forward to battling you as you get stronger. The Starfall one is kind of like you have Team Rocket, and this one you have like is Team Star, which is their version of Team Rocket, but is more of the school base because this whole game is based off a university. And these are like a group of kids who were like picked on, like being bullied, and then they end up forming like Team Star to get back at their bullies, and then it just goes like haywire. So like you have to complete this quest to go through and defeat all the bosses. So they have a code of conduct. If you beat them, then they have to retire. So like you go through there so you can dismantle Team Star, and then they have somebody who runs the whole show behind the scenes. And then you have the Path of Legends, which is we're like this Arvin, who's has a Pokemon called Mospastif, who's got seriously injured in Area 0. And he's going around and getting his legendary herbs so he can make these sandwiches, and he's been feeding it to his Pokemon to get him back to 100% health. And you have your legendary Pokemon, which is Meridian on the Violet version, who also has issues, and then you feed him the sandwiches, and it unlocks more abilities, like you can jump higher and glide, you can climb up mountains. I think that's all of them. If I remember carefully. And then after you beat all 3 of these paths, and it all converges what they call the way home, which is you have to go into Area 0, and then you learn more about like all these weird futuristic Pokemon when you learn like they come from the future and whatnot, and why they got there, and why they're part of this world, and how you need to stop it. And so after you complete that, you get the credits to roll, and then you get the post game stuff, which is where I'm at right now. So they're doing like a Academy Ace tournament where they try to get all these people to do this Pokemon battle at the school. And so I think La Prima, which is like she's like the leader of the Pokemon League. So she gives me the task to go revisit all the gym leaders and rebattle them all again at the higher levels. Like they're close to where I'm at, like level 70. And like to test them and see if they're still relevant. So once you complete that, then you can do the Academy Ace tournament. And that almost does pretty much all the post-game stuff. I think after that you can do raids, like level 7 raids, which is where I think you can lock the Mewtwo, which is going on right now. But you have to complete the post-game stuff right there. And then there's some like a legendary Pokemon that kind of float around afterwards that get unlocked. But I mean, that's pretty much it. So I mean, I got everything done I needed before the expansion comes out. But I mean, outside of that, I mean, I've enjoyed my time with it. I sat there in good chunks and bulks once you get into that groove and just start capturing stuff. I think there's 400 Pokemon. I think I got like 250 of them.
Dang.
So I still got a long ways to go just to collect to get them all. But
it's a lot of trading.
Yeah, I think the difficult ones are going to be the legendary ones, because I think there's like 4 in each version of the game, but you only get 1 master ball where you can use to capture them. So I don't even know how you get
the master ball. The master ball is just an easy catch. You can catch them. You can catch them with any ball. It's just a lot harder, lower catch rate.
I don't know. I just go based off what the guy told me, which was master ball for the legendaries. So I haven't got to them yet, so I haven't even tried. Outside of that, I mean, the bugs are still there. So like, there's all the. I mean, they haven't really fixed all this stuff. Like, I mean, even the credits were going like 15 frames per second.
Oh my god!
Oh. So it's like it's probably the most buggy Pokemon, and they haven't really fixed any of it. Pokemon game. So I'm curious to see if they're going to do any major update when this expansion pack comes out. But I know there was a rumor going around that there's supposed to be a next gen update for the new console, specifically for the Scarlet and Violet. That none of those issues will be fixed until then. So
the brand new console that's going to have PS5 level graphics. And
no, that's
and
the new
PlayStation Final Fantasy 7
No,
Rebirth.
I didn't look at that guy. I don't know. I was looking at somebody else. The one I was looking at was base PS4 small, almost Pro, but I think they said that the DLSS is what would make it look a lot cleaner. That was the one I was looking at, so I don't know what this other guy's talking about. But I think that was the one that was talking about that they were looking at doing a upgrade patch for the current generation for Pokemon Scarlet. I don't think he said anything about any Final Fantasy game. I think that was the only thing he said he had news on. That, and I think he said that he played the games he played. Apparently, there were some games played on there that is supposedly backwards compatible. Where this backwards compatible, everything he doesn't know, but it does play some Switch games. With the ones that were tested by whatever developer that was leaking the information to him. So, but yeah, outside of that, I mean, they might clean all that stuff on there. So it is a buggy game. It's weird. You'll see stuff where like I was getting in battles and it puts me weird camera angles where I'm seeing underground, and like I said, there are some frame rate issues, and there's some parts where the game kind of just like looks like it freezes and it takes a second to catch up. It's really buggy. This is probably the worst one. It's bad. It's bad. I can't believe how bad it is. But yeah, it is.
Bleach says he has encountered lay bugs too. Does he mean like Caterpie?
Probably.
Yes. Metapod.
See what you did there.
But yeah, that's it. I mean, that's it. I think it took me about 25 hours. I think it probably took me like another 2 hours to complete the post game. It's not a long game. I mean, the longest part's probably going through and try to complete the Pokédex. So I know when I looked it up, I think it's just 400 of them. So, because I think you have 4 legendary for the Violet, you have 4 unique legendary for the Scarlet, and then you have like I think 10 futuristic Pokemon for each version.
Back in my day, it used to be just one legendary Pokemon.
So I want to say there's maybe close to 50 that are exclusive to each version. so that you can only get by trading.
Did Bush get the opposite one from the one you have?
But I think I fucked up because I kept mentioning Scarlet, so he bought Violet, and I already have Violet. But I have both, so it doesn't matter. I bought the 2-pack, so yeah. But I did boot up Pokemon Home, and then I transferred all my Pokemon over from Arceus and Diamond and threw them in there. So the ones that would let me carry over, because there's some that put like a do not move sign on there, where there's certain ones that don't exist in that Gen 9 world. So that did help out with some of my Pokédex collecting, and were some of the bullshit ones, which I get them in fucking red, and I'm sitting there for like 20 hours trying to get them the fucking Pokeball, and they won't go in the home. They just want me to kill them instead. I'm like, I don't get him in. Yeah, like 1 HP.
Get in your ball.
Get in the ball, but it's never get in the fucking ball. I was like, I don't get it. I'm throwing out every version of a ball out there, and they just like, oop, almost got him. Oop, almost got him. I was like, but this bitch is almost dead. He'd just rather die. So I just end up killing him.
At 1 health, like, what are you supposed to do?
So
paralyze him?
I mean,
sleep?
Just fucking get in. I mean, I started doing all that shit where it's like putting him to sleep and shit. This is too much work, man. I was like, you know, if you're not gonna get in there, I'm just gonna kill you. So I'm like, it's just.
If you're not gonna get in there, I'm just gonna kill you.
Yep. Specifically to the Pokemon, but
get in there and put the lotion in the basket.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, that was it. I'm now at the point where I guess whenever Jeremy's ready, I can start doing trades now. Like I said, I'm just filling out the Pokédex now after I finish this.
Trade with Jeremy.
I'm trying to get this post game stuff done so I can get this fucking Mewtwo before it finishes out in like 14 days. So, because I think you have to be raid level 7 to get it, and I think you can only unlock 6 and later if you complete the post game. So it's like I have to go beat these fucking gym leaders again? And then go to the tournament and like fight 5 fucking people. Damn. But outside of that, but yeah, the difficulty spike is ridiculous, man. When you get to the end of these arcs, for these 3 arcs before you can do the final arc. Like if the difficulty jumps, man. I was moving through the game, and then like these guys are like, I'm like level 50, and they're straight up level 70.
What are you supposed to do with that?
What happened here? So I had to go out there and grind for a while. I got to grind, man. I just had to go out there and grind.
20 levels?
It was bad. I was like, it was such a big difference. It was bad. I was like, man, what the hell, dude? And then they expect you to. I mean, I pretty much just went through with Croc in there and just fucking fried everybody with the fire technique, just killed them because I was like 20 levels higher than everybody. But like towards the end, like they'll have like 2 different elements. So like you'll fight somebody who has like ground and fire and like psychic and water. So like they'll get stuff like, all right, this guy's strong, I can take him out with fire. He's weak against fire, but he'll have somebody who can beat fire. So like he'll tear my ass up too. So it's balanced when you get to the very end, man. You can't fuck around. So I'm sitting there like there were some battles. I'm sitting there like, damn, I had to like sit there and sacrifice Pokemon so I could just sit there and heal other ones and bring them out there, and there were some 30-minute battles, man, on that towards the end.
Whew.
So the difficulty jump, it's ridiculous towards the end. I was like, man, it was not.
Was there a warning? Did they say anything?
No, it just fucking just jumps.
You will get hosed past this point.
It's not even like a grad. Like it's not even a fucking. It just straight down. I'm like, holy shit! I was like, I can't just sit there and just not pay attention to what I'm doing.
Just like auto battle.
So. Yeah, just strong attack gone through. That's like the first 8 dims, but after that, it's like they don't mess around after that. I was like, because like even the end game, like the end game was tough too, because it's like all the future Pokemon has 2 different types. So it's like fire, like I said, fire, ground, water, psychic. I'm like whatever weakness it had something to combat the weakness. Because I'm sitting around, I was like, all right, I got this motherfucker. I'll throw out the fire one, and he just decimated me with ground. I'm like, golly. So I'm like, they're tough. The battles at the end, they're tough. They're very tough, and I'm like, I'm level 80 something.
So it changes from like the paper rock scissors of the early game, and it switches.
Yeah, because they come with 2 types. So like you have one main type, but like they can balance 2 types of attacks. So like they balance each other off. Like they have a second attack that combats their weakness. So it's like if somebody throws out something strong against them, like, oh, I got your ass. They'll use that other thing on you. So I was like, but it's not like a gradual. It doesn't get there gradually. It's just a straight difficulty.
Like wandering into that peninsula in Final Fantasy, where just all of a sudden you're in the super difficult part. Your party's gonna get ravaged.
I'm sitting there having to bring paper out, scribbling notes, like, all right, I gotta build this Pokemon from scratch. I'm sitting there like, let me get these TMs and stuff like that. Let me just sit there and get this guy going. Like, I have to actually do fucking homework. Before I was like, oh, I was enjoying this game. Now I'm like getting fucking irritated. But that's neither here or there. Game's done. I just gotta finish this
post game.
This raid. I think the DLC comes out in like the first expansion comes out in like 9 days. So I might fuck around with that. Who knows? I'll give it back to Brent here to carry us home.
All right, I've got a few things. I continued with Gal Guardians. Got to a boss battle. First I picked up the 5 items that I needed to go back through the levels, and now I've got to a boss battle that I'd just rather not do because it's one of those things. It's I can see exactly what I need to do, but some of the attacks are pretty cheap and take a lot of health. So I started to get frustrated with it and eventually just said, okay, I'm done. I've been...
That was the Metroidvania style game, right?
Yes. I just started Arkham Knight the other day. I booted it up on Steam Deck. It's one of those that says not playable, but it boots right up. I didn't turn any of the settings down. It's still on high settings for most everything. I did knock it down to 30 frames a second because one thing I did see is that sometimes it chugs along if you leave it on 60. It'll get to certain points and it'll just kind of drop anyway. So it's like, screw it. If it's going to drop and be inconsistent, I'll lock it at 30.
Flawless.
And it actually runs pretty well.
That movement doesn't have to be 60 frames for the most of that stuff. A solid 30 would be fine, I think, for that gameplay.
30 at what is it?
800p.
1080. It was 1080, I think.
1080 by 800.
Yeah, 1080 by 800. Or like 1240 by 800. It was a weird thing, but it looks good. It plays good. I've had very minor issues. Every now and then I'll get weird like audio pops that just kind of, it crackles, pop, pop, pop in the background while stuff is happening, or during certain areas, things like that. And then it clears up and it's perfect. So
what would make that happen? Some sort of like poorly optimized
I don't know.
Throughput,
I
bandwidth
went
somewhere?
to look. I don't know. I looked in some of the other settings and was like, I'm not really having any other issues other than that every now and then. And I've noticed it a couple times, and after that, it hasn't done it really at all since then. So it might have been that like first little section got into like a rough little area. And other than that, it's great. The story is pretty strong. Everything about this is... I know a lot of people didn't like it because it involved some vehicle combat.
It's like the Batmobile was a main focus, right?
Yeah, but I actually liked it. I really did. The gradual progression of the story and including the Batmobile basically as another gadget to use, because not only do you drive it, you can pilot it remotely and do some things. Yes. And overall, the game is the peak of the Arkham series. The combat, everything, the detective mode, everything it's been so fleshed out that everything is just at its peak.
Pinnacle of each one of its systems.
And has been tuned perfectly. Everything feels so fluid, and it's amazing. And I was noticing like the detail. There's Batman still gets communications in this game, and rather than just sitting there and like holding his ear and listening to whoever's talking, he actually pulls up on his wrist and there's like a projection screen that pops up. And you can, you're looking at the person's face while they're talking to you, and it kind of zooms in. So you're watching Batman, and I'm standing outside in the rain, and I'm watching like individual raindrops hit Batman's cowl and like drip down
Oh,
and
that's
stuff. I'm like,
great.
man, the detail. I was like, this is so
That's
freaking
awesome.
cool.
Batman Simulator.
Yes, Batman Simulator forever. I wanted to start it earlier this week because my power actually went out for 6 hours earlier this week. We had a storm come through.
We didn't get as bad as Florida, though, but we still got some outcroppings of that system.
And I picked up the deck and I was like, oh, I'll start Arkham. Oh, wait, I haven't downloaded it. So I had to go through and figure out what I had loaded on my deck. And I decided to play the original Resident Evil 4. I played the first chapter. It's still an
fantastic,
game.
but it shows its age.
After playing the remake, it's definitely a lot rougher around the edges than I remember. For a long time, it was definitely one of my favorite games. And it's still a great game. The story's good, but it's going back to it. It's
important to remember too. It did so many things before any other title did. The over the shoulder. Over the shoulder.
I mean, it was one of the first games that I really remember that was super heavy on introducing the QTEs. And then after that, you started seeing them everywhere in gaming.
One of the individuals playing the remake with us was like, does it have the stuff where you have to just randomly press the button when it asks you to? And I was like, it's funny you say that, because this is one of the games that started that trend. Oh, so many years ago. And the original God of War, not the one you're probably accustomed to.
Yeah. And then other than that, I actually I played some Warzone with Cesar, friend of the show, Jeremy, and we did Saturday night.
Cesar, you remember who your fourth was? Warzone? Okay.
Ezra.
Yeah. Y'all had a good squad then. Solid group.
So we could never get a win. It was always just out of grasp.
No, Ezra single-handedly.
Oh, really?
No, yes.
Before you joined.
No, I was there.
Brent was crawling.
That was like the second game.
Revive me.
On. Ezra was the only one left.
We were all dead.
Yeah, he was the only one left, and he was hiding in a bathroom, and the guy jumped in and started just kind of like hopping around, not really paying attention, and Ezra gunned him down.
That was it. It was 1v1 at the end of
it? He opened the door through a smoke grenade, and then just started like kind of hopping around the room.
Why?
He basically screwed himself up.
What tactic was that?
Well, because he was hiding behind the door, so he's just staring at him the whole time, just jumping around and throwing in smoke grenades. So...
Boosh says early game win, should have quit afterward.
Yeah, after that we did not.
That's what Boosh always says. It's already time to quit.
I asked Cesar because I was like, I got the stream numbers the next morning. I was like, damn, y'all had a really successful stream. Did you get any dubs? Cesar was like, we got one early and then nothing after that. Nothing 3 hours later.
We started streaming. We started streaming
before the stream. Yeah.
After
God,
the win. Other than that, I actually have been playing on solos. Today I was actually doing.
It's so stressful to me. I can't do it.
It's a different animal,
I'm so
man. It
really
is.
Everything. It's never my teammate. I'm like, who's that? Who's in the house?
But I actually did really good today. I've been, I'd get the 10th or 11th. I played a little bit before the show. I was getting 6th and 8th, and then earlier today, a little after lunch, I got a win.
A solos win?
A solos win.
Go.
On Vondel. I was hunkered in the in this one building, saw a couple people, and then it was second to last circle. I saw where it was kind of going. Jumped out, ran in the canal, came out the side. There was somebody in the water, shot them. got out, ran through a building, stopped for a second, came out of the building, saw somebody down the alleyway, shot at him. He kind of ducked back, but the gas was coming, so I jumped in the water, and I'm swimming. And as I come up, I see somebody in the water in front of me. I kill him, and then I kind of get in the corner, play it up real quick, but then I just start hearing, and I turn around, and the guy has that I was shooting at before has come up from the bridge, jumped down in the water, and is like swinging at me. I don't know if he was out of ammo or what. So I hit him a couple of times, and then I just back up, and I'm like, I've got a gun. And I gun him down, and then it goes, good job. I'm like, what? That's what? War zone. So
no I've got that way. Clip saved. I have to see this. How is he out of ammo? He's like trying to karate chop you in the back.
He's. And then I had another one where it wasn't the wind, but it ticked me off because I jumped in the water and I'm swimming. There's nobody near me, but then this guy comes out of the castle on Vondel, and I see him. He just took out somebody, and he's swimming, and he's like wearing a cowboy hat, and he's got a like bright pink and blue gun. And then he looks at me, and he starts swimming towards me, and I'm like, oh crap! And I start shuffling through. I don't have a water gun. I'm like, I'm gonna melee him. As soon as he gets to me, I start hearing the melee noise, but there's like a tinge of like metal behind it. I'm like, oh shit, he's got a knife. And I mean, two jabs with the knife.
Damn.
And I'm dead. So, yeah.
The knife is quick, huh?
The knife is quick.
Gotta remember the knife.
And other than that, man, that's it. That's all I played.
That'll wrap us up. Anybody got anything else to add? Pretty good solid show here. Decent effort put forth by all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.
Adios.